Well, guys, so Jeremy is back to being a clown, and you guys know I got to call it out because this is somebody who literally, just like a few days ago, his favorite stock, Tattooed Chef, filed for bankruptcy. And it just always blows my mind how these guys can literally cause so many of their followers to lose a bunch of money and just move on like nothing happened. There's never an apology. There's never a, hey, let me at least try to console you. Let me at least talk about it. Let me at least explain where I went wrong. Nothing. Just completely move on. And instead of addressing the fact, because I told you guys he wasn't going to make a video about it, and he didn't. Instead of addressing the fact that he talked about a company, like basically telling everybody that Tattoo Chef is going to 10x, is going to 1000x, is going to go up 1000%, it's going to be the next Tesla, it's going to the moon. And instead of just acknowledging that he swindled a lot of people with that, he just completely ignores it. And one of the saddest things about it is now he's doing this whole thing where he's throwing your money back in your face. He's making videos like, oh, I just spent $100,000 plus on these stocks. Well, remember, you're talking about somebody who has no skills at all. The only thing that he has is pure luck. And I know some people are going to think, oh, you're just a hater. I really don't care. You can call me what you want. This guy has no skill, no talent. I don't care what you say. Congratulations, he blew up on YouTube. But I just want you guys to know this 100,000 that he supposedly is spending on stocks literally came from Patreon. It's either it came from Patreon or it came from the money that he gets from his YouTube business. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think Strawman played a video on this. There was a video that Andre did a while ago. I think he went on the Iced Coffee Hour or something like that. No. He went on Andre Jick's That Creepy Podcast. What's that? I don't remember. What's that creepy sauna pod? Don't Sweat It. Don't Sweat It. He went on the Don't Sweat It podcast that Andre Jick had. By the way, that channel no longer exists, but that's a different conversation. He went on that podcast, and Andre Jick point blank asked him, what do you say to people who say that, oh, well, you're only rich because of YouTube? And Jeremy literally had no other answer for that. Literally no other answer. Now, if you look at people like me and Strongman, or let's just take me, for example, no matter how well I do on YouTube, which obviously there's no guarantee I ever will be rich on YouTube. But if I ever do, I will never be in a position where I could just go around and say, oh, I'm just a YouTuber. Never. Like, I work a job right now. I work in insurance. Even if I had YouTube, I would at least start a business or something. I would not make my income just totally relying on YouTube. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being an entertainer, but the problem is this guy kind of boasts himself as a stock picking guru. We know he's not. And then he's saying other crazy stuff. Meta stock is unstoppable, $400 plus incoming. This is very similar. This reminds me of what Joseph Carlson said when he was like, Netflix is going to go to 900 by 2026. By the way, that guy has a cult, man. Let me go to that video. That video was funny. So I made a video on Joseph Carlson. That video got like 5,000 views, and I did not know this guy had that crazy of a fan base. But I got absolutely roasted by Joseph Carlson's fans. Like, they really, really love this guy. They really can't see. Here it is. Joseph Carlson needs to cut it out. This video has 6,000 views. Yeah, if you look at the comments, I just got absolutely destroyed by this guy's followers. Like, they love this guy. I just want to make that clear. If you guys wonder why sometimes I lose hope in the finance committee, it's because of stuff like this. This guy's obviously a clown. Obviously doesn't know what he's talking about. Sure, he's not as bad as me, Kevin, or Jeremy, or Stockmo. Fine, but he's still bad. I mean, you're not going to make money with this guy, okay? But I don't know, man. People love him. For whatever reason, people love him. But anyway, back to the Jeremy video. So, yeah, Jeremy's going back to his old tricks. I just spent $100,000 on this stock. Meta stock is unstoppable. Let me actually go ahead and click on his channel because he said something else that was crazy, which is funny because, in my opinion, one of these videos should have been where I went wrong with Tattoo Chef and why I went bankrupt. Look at this. This guy has a video titled How to Beat the S&P 500 in Stock Market. But the reason why I want to hammer on this video, guys, where it says I just spent $100,000 on these stocks, the reason why I want to hammer on is because this is how they trick people. It's very easy to do. If you make a lot of money from being a grifter, all you got to do is throw big numbers. How I went from $1,000 to $20,000. I just spent $2,000 on this stock. I just spent $1 million on these 7 stocks. Unfortunately, what these people are doing is they are significantly, like, over the top, taking advantage of people's desperation. I think you guys need to remember, too, even though these YouTubers are still making money or whatever they're doing, make no mistake about it, we're in a recession. We absolutely are. I know employment is still looking good, whatever, but not only are we in a recession, the average American is struggling so hard. Inflation has just destroyed people. The price of goods have went up. I know we're seeing that inflation is going down, blah, blah, blah. But I know for me personally, I haven't really seen it. Everything is still expensive for me. Car prices have gone up. Housing prices have gone up. Matter of fact, I saw an article recently where they said if you buy a $400,000 house, because of how high your interest rate is going to be, because the Fed is raising interest rates, and I know that doesn't have anything to do with inflation. I mean, it does, but you know what I mean? Like, anyway, because the rate of what am I trying to say? Because interest rates are so high, that's what I was trying to say. I saw an article that basically said that if you buy a $400,000 house, you will end up paying $1 million for that house, basically because of the interest. My overall point is a lot of people are in a very tough financial situation. Like, if you make a video on like top side hustles, that video is going to get a lot of views because a lot of people are just looking for ways to make money. People are just really broke out here, regardless of what you're seeing on social media. Everybody looks rich on social media. Everybody's taking trips to Paris and Hawaii and Dubai and all that. Everybody got nice cars to go on the concert. They look rich. But in real life, in reality, if you look at the data, what we're seeing is that most Americans barely have $1,000 in their savings accounts. Most Americans are taking out credit card debt, massive credit card debt. Like, I think the average amount of credit card debt that is being taken out is $9,000. Like, that is how people are funding their lives. And so even though people are faking the life on social media, in reality, people are broke. And so when they see videos like this, it is always going to entice them because they're like, man, if this guy made $100,000, maybe I can too, if I follow what he says. And that's why these people are joining his Patreon. What they're not understanding, this guy did not make that money from buying stocks. And I want you guys to understand how hard it is to make money in stock investing, by the way. Like, it's not hard to make money if you continue to compound and put money in and dollar cost average. Over the long term, you will be rich if you do that. But this whole turn 1,000 into 10,000 stuff, it's absolute garbage. And I want you guys to understand, don't just focus on how much money this guy has in his trading portfolios. That's the trick. It's easy to trick somebody by saying, look, I just put $100,000 in this portfolio. You need to ask, where did that money come from? Did that money come from stock trading? No, that money came from YouTube ad revenue. That money came from FTX sponsorships that this guy was promoting. Well, remember, FTX ended up being a scam. This money came from Patreon revenue and whatever other business ventures he has that are tied to his media business, which would be his YouTube. Those are the questions you need to ask. Once you determine that this guy's money came from other sources outside of stock trading, you need to understand that it would actually be in your best interest to follow how these guys are making money rather than joining their stock picking course or whatever the heck they're doing. Because I'll tell you right now, what smart people are going to do is, instead of saying, oh, let me join this guy's Patreon and learn how to buy stocks and stuff, I think what a smart person would do is say, okay, this guy made all his money from YouTube, not stock investing. Maybe I should start a YouTube and bring some value to people and charge money for Patreon or whatever, which I don't have a problem with doing as long as you're promoting value. And that's your way to make money. I would rather you guys do that than follow this clown stock picking advice. Because like I said, this guy has had so many bankrupt companies, you can't even count it on your finger at this point. Like, he's had so many. And now people are messaging me telling me that this guy was promoting bad companies back in 2018 before I even knew this guy existed. Like, apparently this guy's got a really long track record of being a clown. And, I'll never understand why this guy's so popular. I really don't get it. I understand why Kevin's popular. I at least understand that. People like this guy, Stockmo, I will just never understand. And I just don't think it's for me to understand. So whatever. Anyway, that's really all I got for you guys. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one.